right, what is up, y'all? Yikes. Hello, it is the 5th of February 2026. My name is Evan Strong, the founder of In The Image Clothing Company. This video's title, I'm just gonna say it right away so you know why we're doing this. This is a big video, it really is, documentation-wise. The title is, It Took Me 2 Years. And it's just some information, as we do, right? So much under the gift of video on all four sides of In The Image Clothing Company. A lot of it's just documentation, and always will be under all four sides of In The Image Clothing Company. This video's title is the point. It took me 2 years, okay? And we're still gonna do it as we do always, where and if we do, blunt, bold, raw, and real, In The Image Clothing Company style, with the surrounding sounds, the airplane noise. I get it, okay? What do we really do? What we really do is wait out the airplane noise where we do, okay? Under In The Image Clothing Company, what do we really do? We allow the human body to work. That's our slogan on our main side here, allowing the body to work. Clothing's the only thing physically placed on us. So just to be very clear, it's been the exact same since the absolute founding date, the 23rd of September, 2024. In The Image Clothing Company is not about clothing. Okay? It's about the human body and the functionality of it, because clothing is the only thing physically placed on us. I say it like this because this is the case. The human body is just a mechanical machine placed onto a rock in space. The rock in space is our Earth, okay? There's a vertical center to gravity, and its pull straight down on our bodies, and our bodies have a center line, okay? There's the sternum, the spine, the trachea, the nose, and our jaw, all in the center line of the body. This has to mesh with Earth's center of gravity. There's no opinion to have. And you're a human being just like me. We're designed in the image of God, in the image of Jesus Christ. We're a clothing company for anything that clothes the human being. It doesn't have to be fashion. We're not about fashion under In The Image Clothing Company. It's about the human body, but we have to get to it by what's placed on it. Everything we do in our lives, we're doing it through our clothing. You can address anything outside of yourself in your life you ever want to put focus on, but you're doing it with clothing on, if you are, okay? The only thing that we have. That's an episode of In The Image Clothing Company podcast, one of our fourths under In The Image Clothing Company, where we have deep discussions on the gospel of Jesus Christ. Don't believe anything and see what is left, okay? You don't have to be religious. The gospel of Jesus Christ is the truth of all things. We're all human beings, all the same thing with this universal human design, placed on the same earth, designed by the same God, in his image, Jesus Christ. Don't be surprised, it's in our company name, right? We're not a religious company, we're a company to get down to the truth. Another name for God is the truth. Like there is only truth to how the human body works. Like how there's only light because there's dark, or there's only warmth because there's cold, and how there's opposition in all things. We pull muscles to close a hinge, or we pull muscles on the opposite side to extend a hinge, okay? The human body only pulls. That's something we put a lot of focus on under In The Image Clothing Company, because that's all muscles do is pull, even in what seems like a push, okay? It's also a video's title under the main side of In The Image Clothing Company, The Human Body Only Pulls. But, yeah, on In The Image Clothing Company podcast, as of today's date, the 5th of February, 2026, we are on episode 203, okay? And the only thing that we have, that title of that episode of In The Image Clothing Company podcast, it's our bodies. Everything else in life can come and it can also leave. But you got your body when you got onto this earth, and your body can't leave you unless you leave this earth in this physical life. Our physical life is our physical bodies. It's the only thing that we have. So, any opinion aside, Yes. The truth is, if you don't put focus on your own physical body, then you, in this life being your physical body, okay, in the ways that we are just our physical bodies in this life, okay, seen with context, you won't even be here to focus on anything else. You have to put your body first. Any, and all opinions aside anyone could ever possibly come up with, your body's the first thing in this life. Your body is this physical life, your physical body. Okay. In the Image Clothing Company has, since the very founding date, and then even before then, before I founded In the Image Clothing Company, me, Evan Strong, the founder of In the Image Clothing Company, it's always been about the human body. It's not about clothing. Not at all. Except it's the only thing physically placed on us. So this video's title, this is the point with it took me 2 years. It's just an explanation. It's just context. As we do, we give so much context. Okay? Context over content is an episode title of In the Image Clothing Company podcast. Okay? Context is the focus. Not just making content. We can make fun, flashy videos, and they might be exciting until they're not anymore. We try to do everything we can under In the Image Clothing Company, though, and all 4 sides to just deliver truth, unchanging information that we couldn't decide, so we didn't decide. We couldn't take credit for because it was already there before us. In every aspect of what we discuss under all 4 sides of In the Image Clothing Company, and we do a lot. We really, really do. That's not some kind of like hype statement. We really do a lot under In the Image Clothing Company. And we will continue to do more than we do as of today's date, and a lot of it's been documented under the gift of video, date marked on things that will almost certainly come. But even as of today's date, we do a lot under In the Image Clothing Company. There are 4 distinct sides, and even in each of those 4 sides, there's a lot of difference to what goes on within what each of the 4 sides is geared around of In the Image Clothing Company. So the focus has always been the human body, and we could never take credit for the human body. We didn't design it. I didn't design my body. I can't decide how it works. I can't get it to do anything different. And that's the case for every human being to ever live, except for Jesus Christ, the designer of the bodies. God had to first look like us in order to design us in his image. And being designed in the image of an unchangeable being, God being the same yesterday, today, and forever, our bodies will always be the same. So if we align our information we give under In the Image Clothing Company with truth that is unchanging, if something is true, it will never change. Truth is truth, always and forever. Then our information will always be valid. It's nothing we could decide, okay? As In the Image Clothing Company. So, as I back up, that's what I mean. Take me out of it, right? Take my hands off the wheel. You've got a problem with us, well, stick around, as I say, but don't get upset with us, okay? Deeper context brings deeper understandings. We give deep context on everything we do under In the Image Clothing Company. We explain things so thoroughly you couldn't possibly dispute it because we can't decide it. So it's not like we're trying to get you to believe something. Don't believe in anything. And then what? Truth, okay? Always. It never leaves. God never leaves. So, the human body. There's only one way the human body could ever work. No claim, no sales pitch, no new information. Nah. Bones are only the shape that they are. They're only the length that they are. I am in this for life to do this. I don't have some kind of claim I'm trying to get people to believe in so I can hurry and make some quick success and cash and then run off and do whatever I want. I'm in this for life is an episode title of In the Image Clothing Company podcast, spoken by me, Evan Strong, the founder of In the Image Clothing Company. There truly is only one way the human body could ever work. It's not like I'm going to try to get you to believe something that one day might get found out, but until then I could profit from it. No, it's always been the exact same. Bones really are just only sticks, essentially. Okay, the shape and length that they are, bones connect to each other through not tendons, no, ligaments. Between the bones, there's a thin layer of cartilage that just is cushioning for the bones so they don't wear out, wearing on each other. Bones have to mesh in line and track in line. If we're going to walk forward, we have to walk straight forward. If we're going to bend a joint, it has to bend where the bones mesh. Bones only track in line. Muscles connect two bones through tendons, and they only pull, and they do it directly in line. Okay? Dante. This is Dante, my standard poodle. Okay? We've got another fourth of In the Image Clothing Company, In the Image Clothing Company poodles. Okay? Airplane noise where there is. I get it. I get it. I'll wait it out just for as long as I do, though. Okay? Two years. I'm going to explain it, okay? All right? I'm going to explain it, man. I'll explain it. Okay? For human beings, we discuss eating, sleeping, standing, walking, sitting, breathing, hydration, but really everything. I just say those things because that gives you an understanding of it's not just about clothing, but everything we do in our lives, we're doing it through clothing. We also discuss all these things, though, and everything we do as a human being, and doing these things naturally, living in this unnatural, modern, man-made world placed onto God's natural earth. We deal with things as human beings that human beings never had to deal with in the past. Things that are invented. Unnatural, synthetic, and artificial. Things like stretch in clothing. The plane's coming back. There is a flight school just a few miles from here, okay? But muscles only pull in the body, okay? No matter what we're doing, muscles only pull. And stretching is the opposite direction of the only way muscles could ever work. Stretch in clothing is new just tens of years ago from today's date, the 5th of February, 2026. So, yeah, we just discuss everything as a human being that we do under In the Image Clothing Company. And why it took me 2 years to do what we really do here under In the Image Clothing Company's main side, which is get out of chronic patterning in the body. Bone spurs and scar tissue build up in the body when we're trying to work around things like oversized clothing, imbalances of any kind in our clothing, and there are many in modern day. With clothing designs being able to be shipped across the entire planet through technology in ways that never could have possibly happened in the past, we're wearing just about universal designs of clothing across the entire earth. So any imbalance in any clothing that's manufactured and shipped across the whole planet is something that human beings across our entire earth are experiencing the effects from. And clothing just has to stay centered, fit correct, where we discuss under In the Image Clothing Company. It's not our choice. There's a universal human design, the skeletal frame of the human body, the positioning of the bones, which are just by themselves an immovable stick that's connected to another immovable stick, if you will, and they only work where they connect. You can have an amputation, deformity, birth defect, major surgery, anything like this that's changed your body in any way, sets your body apart, but you can also have patterning. And that's what I'm saying. We get into patterning, trying to work around the only thing physically placed on us. There's no sales pitch here. This is the truth. This is just the explanation to what's going on. Don't believe it. That's what I mean. And I've said it so many times. Don't believe me, Evan Strong, the founder of In the Image Clothing Company. Don't believe In the Image Clothing Company's information, In the Image Clothing Company's team members, even any of our poodles, okay? I say that just because it doesn't matter what you believe or what I believe. Truth is truth. If our bodies are in patterning, where has it come from? It's come from somewhere if it's come at all. Like us as human beings, we came from somewhere. We can't have a belief on where we came from and have that change where we came from. We only came from where we came from before we could have a belief on it. Truth is truth. No opinions can be had on anything unless there's first something there to develop an opinion on. And your opinion doesn't change what the thing is you're viewing, it's already there to view. Truth is truth. No human being ever gets to decide truth or change truth. It's unchanging. And our bodies can change from the universal human design. That's what has taken me 2 years, is getting out of chronic patterning in my body as the founder of In the Image Clothing Company, me, Evan Strong, and it is permanent. There's a couple episodes of In the Image Clothing Company podcast I reference back to back often like this, because it is not a walk in the park, meaning it's not easy. That's what has taken me 2 full years, getting out of chronic patterning in the body caused by the only thing physically placed onto it, clothing. Anything that clothes the human being is clothing the human being the way God clothes the fields with grass. Something placed onto something else is clothing that thing, clothing for the human being, okay? In the Image Clothing Company, that's the point. Getting out of chronic patterning, it's not a walk in the park, okay? So there you go. Not a walk in the park is an episode title of In the Image Clothing Company podcast, but then on the opposite end of that, so is never be the same, okay? Because it will never be the same again. Our bodies, it never possibly could. It takes years, at least months, but years, maybe tens of years, maybe almost an entire lifetime to get into the depth of patterning we get into as human beings. That will never happen again unless we take that amount of time doing those things to get our bodies into the patterning they got into to have it happen again. Once we rid the patterning, it is permanent as long as we're intentional from there forth. There is no sales pitch. It is just the truth. It's explanations. That's what we give under In the Image Clothing Company, is context on truth, not our decisions, okay? It's not our decision on how the human body works, though. So when we do place oversized clothing on the body, here comes a jet plane. That's a bigger plane than normally flies overhead here. Yeah. And as I say, I could film these videos anywhere. Blunt, bold, raw, and real is the focus, though, not trying to be anything better than we are. We're not trying to make any claims. We're just discussing what's happening under In the Image Clothing Company. But oversized clothing, well, oversized clothing is not a choice, is a video under the main side of In the Image Clothing Company here. Our bodies have joints of body parts, joints of bones, like this shoulder. It's just 3 bones coming together. Our shoulder seams of our clothing items we design as human beings and place onto our bodies have to be at the joint of the shoulder. Joints of material, of clothing, meet joints of bones of the body, and now the body can just work. Otherwise, it cannot. We have to work around oversized clothing, and there's only one way the human body works. There's only one way the bones connect to each other. Muscles are only there to move those bones. That's all the body does, is pull endpoints of muscles together. That's it. That's all the body does, motion-wise, just being the mechanical machine that it is. And we discussed this: mechanics, physics, mathematics, unchanging, undisputed truth. That's the human being as it is. The body's got bends. The ankles bend backward, the knees bend forward, the hips bend backward, the low back bends forward, the mid back bends backward, and the upper back, which is really the neck, bends forward. Opposing bends on Earth's vertical gravity pull, which is perpendicular with its horizontal surface that we stand on the bottom of our feet. There's no possible way to train posture. It's an even mathematical opposing bend in each of the joints of the body traveling up from its foundation to keep us vertical on Earth's vertical gravity pull. It's always been the exact same, and it always will be. There's no claim. God designed the human body to work. If we didn't place clothing on it to alter it, it would just work. Like the animals, okay? Yeah. No opinion to this at all, ever. Unchanging truth. I am in this for life, and that's the point, is we've given so much documentation to set this up for success. Set up for success is an episode title of In the Image Clothing Company podcast, because we are set up for success, as in the Image Clothing Company. It's not our choices, that's how. It's truth, it's God. Jesus the Christ designed this, not me. Okay, Evan Strong. So, yeah. Okay, we're working around oversized clothing, imbalances in clothing, and then we introduce ropes to the body, shoelaces or drawstrings, and now the body can be very, very, very damaged. One side of a rope tied over the other side, twisting the entire body, when there's a center to the body. There's a center to Earth's gravity, there's a neutral to all the positions of the body, and there's truly only one way the human body could ever work. Okay. So it's taken me 2 years, every day, working on my body. With the knowledge that I have, documented under the gift of video, you know at least what I've spoken under our around 1,000 videos as of the 5th of February 2026 about the human body's functionality. We discuss the anatomy of the human body in depth. We discuss how clothing's affecting it. We give so many free modifications in clothing to not alter the body. So all the information and knowledge that I have on how the human body works, and working every day on my body to get out of chronic patterning, not doing exercises that are conditional and will go away once you stop. Any workouts you do will just dissipate back to the human body's only normal once you stop working out. But allowing the human being to just reside in its neutral positions is something that can't happen if we place something onto it that doesn't allow it to happen, and the body gets into chronic patterning. And so 2 years, every day, I've been working on my body to get out of chronic patterning. And I can say, as of today's date, the 5th of February 2026, that my body is just about completely out of chronic patterning. And I can say whatever I want. It doesn't really matter. I can make any claim ever. But I can stand here and I can show you, as I did earlier in this video, the rotations in my body. There's 3 deer, white-tailed deer, just bounding through. Cool. We're not all that close to the mountain. I mean, just miles away, but, you know. There's just 3 white-tailed deer. Very common to see in Utah, but, you know, right here, we're just kind of in the middle of a town. That's cool. Okay. Yeah. Shoot, that's cool. That's cool. I haven't seen deer in a little while, but yeah, that's sweet. 2 years, okay? Breaking up scar tissue, breaking up bone spurs in my body, waiting out airplane noise through around 1,000 videos that I filmed as the founder of In the Image Clothing Company, me, Evan Strong, to give context on what we really do. My body works, and I couldn't claim it. I don't know where this airplane is to see how far. Oh, there it is. You know, it's going to be before it's quieter. I see it now. Yeah. Okay, there's a video here under the main site of In the Image Clothing Company titled, "You Can't Fake Functionality." And you can't. I can't stand here and have full rotations, internal or external, in my shoulders if it's not actually there. I can't fake it, you know. And both sides to my wrists, coming up or coming down from the neutral pinky straight forward out the outside of the forearm. I can't fake this, and what I have done, though, to get here is taken 2 full years of every day intently working on my body to rid patterning. In the Image Clothing Company has been In the Image Clothing Company for about 16 months as of today's date, the 5th of February 2026. But there was a little bit of time before I founded In the Image Clothing Company, Evan Strong. You know, months, maybe up to a year, give or take. where I started to work on my body. Like I've said many, many times, documented under the gift of video, I wasn't tying my shoes evenly until I was 24 years old. And I'm 26 years old, okay, as of today. Today's date, the 5th of February, 2026. And so within these past 2 years, I started tying my shoes evenly. And then we developed In The Image Clothing Company's shoelace technique, just meaning I developed, as the founder of In The Image Clothing Company, me, Evan Strong, an understanding of the only way the top of the feet are shaped, which is half of their function, lifting the foot, dorsiflexion, and that's determined by the lacing of our shoes. In The Image Clothing Company's shoelace technique, it's a title of In The Image Clothing Company podcast. We discuss it where we do. It's one of our 2 prerequisites, in addition to where we discuss clothing sits on the universal human design skeletal system to not damage the body. Okay. 0 drop, the term in any brand of shoe, is a flat shoe sole on the bottom. And that's the same as the surface of our earth. If we never had shoe designs that had heels placed under our heels to alter the entire body traveling up from our very foundation at our feet, then we couldn't be altered in that way. And no human being ever was until shoe design started to place an elevated heel under the heel of our foot to damage our bodies. There's a lot of reasons why it happens, and we discuss it under In The Image Clothing Company, but it's damaging regardless of the reasons. Here's another airplane. I'll say this. With this video being as big of a documentation as it is, it's not a claim, but really, like I said, and the reason for this video on today's date, the 5th of February, 2026, is my body really is just about completely out of patterning. And my body's just about completely centered over Earth's center of gravity, okay? With my feet, as ours do, opposing the center line and gripping arches inward to keep us vertical, and musculature on either side of the center line of the body connecting into the center, only pulling to just stabilize us from either side it pulls, and then there's a center to the sides that it's pulling from. And the rotations in my body and the ability to move and operate, stand and sit and walk and eat and breathe and sleep naturally. It's taken 2 years to do this, okay? And yeah. Yeah. I could stand here and I could be in this really high-end, nice clothing, and we could be in a soundproof room with a really high-quality camera, and I could make all these bold statements and try to be more professional than I could ever be. But that's the point, is it's blunt, bold, raw, and real in the Image Clothing Company style. Always, because we just can't be any better than we are, and it's not about clothing. So I could wear some really expensive clothing and look all nice. I could shave my beard. I haven't shaved my beard in around a week. Even, trimmed it up around the edges of the beard lines. It's about the truth of it. This is kind of a big video. It really is. It's been 2 years. And I'm just choosing today's date to document it because, yes, around this time right now, I'm basically completely out of patterning. Just about. In my body. And you can watch it, my body's visual and physical transformation. The point is, as the founder of In The Image Clothing Company, me, Evan Strong, with our slogan on the main side being allowing the body to work, under the gift, as I say, of video, okay, the gift of video, which we always will do so much of on all 4 sides of In The Image Clothing Company. That's a huge part of what we are, is just videos. Because everyone across the entire earth can see what we've done, and we only have to do it once if we film it. It's amazing. Okay. But you can watch my body change. I couldn't claim that my body has changed just as I can't claim that my body functions, and just as I can't claim there's only one way the human body could ever work, because there's a universal human design, and I couldn't claim that because we're all the same, and it's not my choices. What is my choice, though, is to be as intentional as I can be about my own body, because it is the only thing that we have, our bodies, in this life. Okay? So, what I'm saying is I'm not trying to be looking all professional. I'm not trying to wear fashionable clothing. I'm not trying to sell things, although we always will once we start selling In The Image Clothing Company clothing and In The Image Clothing Company dog products and whatever else we get into product-wise. We'll have good products to sell, but so that we can all have our bodies work. As of today's date, the 5th of February 2026, me, Evan Strong, the founder of In The Image Clothing Company, in order to do what I am saying in this video and showing you that you couldn't possibly dispute in this video that I have done, get my body out of chronic patterning that is permanent, and I couldn't claim it because I will for the rest of my life, if and where I do, film videos where you can see my body will continue to physically function because of the understanding that I have on how to allow the body to work. In The Image Clothing Company's main site here, that's our slogan, allowing the body to work. I've only worn other human beings' clothing's design, okay? Other human being clothing designs. Free modifications, that's one of the biggest things we do as In The Image Clothing Company. Just give free information. A lot of that is free modification. In clothing for us as human beings, for our dogs, with their collars, leashes, harnesses, bandanas, slip leads, whatever we place onto the dogs that is clothing the dog with something. Okay, modifying how we approach life, sitting and eating and standing and sleeping. A lot of what we do and always will under In The Image Clothing Company under the gift of video is giving free information. Why not? It's not mine to harbor. It's God's truth. I don't get to decide these things anyway. So, it's taken 2 years. The big focus with this video is don't expect, just because the slogan is allowing the body to work under In The Image Clothing Company's main side, it might sound like, oh, it's just as easy as just allowing it to, and you don't have to do anything. You wouldn't. If we never altered our bodies, there's no reason they wouldn't work, unless there was a reason they couldn't work. But if we place clothing onto our bodies for years, like in my case, it was around 20 years of things like tying shoes unevenly, well, first few years of life as a human being, you're not going to really get into patterning all that much because you're not even really walking very much and you're not tying your own shoes. Things like this, you know, meaning placing ropes onto your body that you can just twist your body any kind of way you want with, right? If you don't know how to allow your body to work while doing these things. But, yeah, it can be almost an entire lifetime of patterning that's built up in human beings' bodies that we have to rid. That's a lot of work. Okay, so don't expect anyone ever, and this isn't me because I, am in charge of this. This is anyone ever, and anyone ever saying it to anyone else ever. Just the universal human design, how it works. If it's been altered, the body can only heal itself as fast as it can heal itself. So it can't just take weeks or months. If it needs to take years in your own individualistic situation. We're just in the depth of patterning that we are in our own situations. That's the focus. That's the thing. That's the point, is if your body's basically unaltered and you've just been very intentional about your body and very centered on Earth's center of gravity through your entire life up until this point, whatever this point could be for you, hearing me say this, for example, anytime in life, then there's not much for you to do. There's not much patterning for you to rid. But there's a lot of human beings that are in such different postures. There's no such thing as posture. It's patterning. We're either standing vertical on Earth's vertical gravity pull, with our body having even opposing bends from bottom to top, or we're not. And the body would just stand vertical on Earth, yeah. If it wasn't altered, the body would just stand vertical on Earth. God designed the body to work. It's either going to stand or it's not. Unless it's trying to stand when there's something placed on it, not allowing it to, something clothing the body. It's not an opinion, it's not a sales pitch, this is just the truth. This is just what the past 2 years of my life have been, setting up the rest of my entire life, me, Evan Strong, as the founder of In the Image Clothing Company. Okay, and so I just don't have any claims that could matter if I ever tried to make one. I don't have any opinions that could matter if I ever tried to have any. I can't choose anything if it's truth. It could never be about me, Evan Strong, as the founder of In the Image Clothing Company. It could never be about In the Image Clothing Company if we're saying things that matter. It's always about Jesus Christ, the designer of the body. There's no way it couldn't be. Okay? So, it's taken 2 years. This video is a documentation. It's a visual documentation. You can look at my body, okay, just for the sake of seeing its functionality. And then here's a lot of context I'm speaking as well. Date marked, documented, as we do, under the gift of video, under the main site of In the Image Clothing Company, because it has taken 2 years for me to get to this point. So don't expect to just start wearing centered, minimal, light, balanced, 100% natural materials in your clothing, and then your body will just start working all of a sudden. But the point is, it's like just all of a sudden you stop wearing clothing entirely. Your body's in patterning. Your body just has to get out of patterning. And that's really the only two options, is either you just stop wearing anything on your body that's altering it entirely, or you continue to wear clothing, but you do all you can to make it as if you're not even wearing clothing. As far as the effect it's having on your body, that's how clothing has to be, because we don't have clothing on our bodies until we put it on our bodies. If you put something on your body to clothe your body with anything at all, glasses, jewelry, it doesn't have to be tops and pants and shoes and socks and undergarments, gloves and hats, scarves and whatever it could be. I mean, you could label any item of clothing, or you could just throw a rope over your shoulder and walk around with it. You're clothing your shoulder with a rope. Clothing your body. You're placing something on your body. We're not a clothing company, really. We're a clothing company. Let's be clear. On why, though, okay? In the Image Clothing Company, it's just about the functionality of the human being, even if we never sold an item of clothing. But it's taken me personally 2 full years to get basically completely out of chronic patterning in my body. And I understand this extremely deeply, okay? The correlation between anything we place onto the human being and then the human being's only functioning as just the mechanical machine that it is, okay? The human body is just mechanics. A video Dante, my standard poodle here, and I filmed and placed here under the main site of In the Image Clothing Company, hinges, levers, rotations, neutrals, muscles only pulling, bones only shaped the way that they are, only the length that they are, connecting directly, immovable by themselves, only moving where they connect to other bones, Earth's vertical center of gravity, perpendicular with its horizontal Earth's surface. This is what In the Image Clothing Company is mechanics, truth, undisputed God. Jesus the Christ, the designer of the body. This is what it's taken me 2 years to do, is unalter what God gave me, my human body. Okay, so don't expect it to be quick. No matter who you are, no matter what you think about In the Image Clothing Company, just don't get it twisted, as I've said. Don't get confused thinking we're saying something we're not saying. We're only saying what we're saying. When I say allowing the body to work, that doesn't mean that it's easy if you're coming from chronic patterning. But once you get out of the patterning, it's easy. You just don't alter the body again. And there you go. Your bones that just only mesh in line will just continue to mesh in line unless they're not allowed to. It's that simple. It's always been the exact same, and it always will be. There's no new information here. Okay? So, that's really the focus, is the length of time. Well, that's the video's title, but specifically to not expect it to be able to happen quicker than your body can heal itself. Your body's breathing by itself. Your body's beating its heart by itself. Really, God is doing all of these things for us. God orchestrates everything, even if we don't want to believe it. It's happening, and no one is doing it. Human being-wise, nobody's doing this. You're not reminding your heart to beat or your lungs to breathe. You know, you're not turning food you eat into flesh of a human being and growing. This is just happening for you. God is doing this. There's no opinion to that. It's out of all of our hands. So, the body can only heal itself as quick as it can. There's a video here under the main side of In the Image Clothing Company titled Reshaping Bones, because we have to. And you can only reshape bones back to their only inline tracking position. When we discuss things like there is only one way the hands work, or there is only one way the feet work, two videos I filmed back to back in beautiful St. George, Utah in November of 2025, it's because there's a lot of little bones in here that only mesh the way they do in the hands, and they can only track in line because muscles only pull directly in line, and the bones are only the shape they are, and they only track directly in line on each other. And same with the feet. There's a lot of bones, ligaments, tendons, and muscles in the hands and in the feet. There's arches in both of them, hand arches or feet arches, and they'll affect each other. If one is altered, the other will be. As far as if you alter the feet arches, the hand arches will be altered. If you alter the hand arches, the feet arches will be altered. The entire body only works all together. It's all there. We call it a kinetic chain, something that's just all connected, but it has motion to it. The human being, we call it a mechanical machine, something that just moves, operating within itself as the human body does. There you go. Truth, no opinion. It is impossible to train the human being to get it to do anything, and it always has been. So you can work out until you stop. All the benefits you get from working out go away once you stop. There is only a normal to the human body in all the senses of anything we could ever say. There's no sales pitch, but I'm just giving context. I say these things where I do. They're documented before today's date marked under the gift of video, wherever they are, meaning on which side of In the Image Clothing Company of the fours that they are, and you know which things we've already said, and some things we've said multiple times already, just to further the context. It's not our choices, and it will never change. The human being has always been the exact same. The only end is allowing God's design of the human being to work, or when it comes to In the Image Clothing Company poodles with letting dogs stay natural, yeah, letting God's design of the dog stay natural. Okay? Our information on In the Image Clothing Company poodles applies to all dogs when it comes to letting dogs stay natural, the same thing as allowing the body to work here on the main side of In the Image Clothing Company, but for the dogs. Okay? And any animal across the entire planet that our information would just directly apply to. Okay, there you go. Or just context that you could then use for other animals as well. This is our focus because it's a lot of work. Okay, it's a lot of work. So 2 years, that's the number we can say. Okay, meaning I can say it's my body that has taken 2 years to get out of chronic patterning. Me, Evan Strong, as the founder of In the Image Clothing Company, I'm in this for life to lead In the Image Clothing Company. If someone takes over after I die, then there you go. But at least for my entire life, this is what I'm doing. And it applies to every single human being on the face of the planet for literally ever, because it's not my choice. but just don't expect it to be a quick fix. Quick fixes don't work. Good things take time. 2 years, it has seemed like a long time. Actually, it really has. I have done so much in these past 2 years. It's been crazy. I couldn't claim it. That's what I'm saying. That's why this video is here. It's a documentation. My body looks completely different. I stand completely different. My body operates mechanically completely different than it did 2 years ago. And it will never be the same. And I can stand here and claim all I want, or we can just let time tell, because that's the point. Good things take time. And as I go through the rest of my life, any visual footage of any kind you can see of Evan Strong, me, the founder of In The Image Clothing Company, any date that's beyond today's, the 5th of February, 2026, my body will continue to work. Anything could come up or happen to my body, but as far as me allowing it to physically operate, I will, because I have the understanding on how to, and we give it freely under the gift of video to every human across the face of the entire planet Earth, because we have the technology to do that nowadays. Okay. So, there you go. Okay, it takes time. Don't expect it to be quick. And that's about all we need to say in this video for the context. I've shown you my body to the degree that I have. I'm wearing the Zero Shoes branded Ridgeway model boots. Zero Shoes has been amazing help to me. I've had zero affiliation in any way, meaning no affiliation in any way, with Zero Shoes, the brand, from me, Evan Strong, the founder of In The Image Clothing Company, up until today's date, the 5th of February, 2026. But their shoe designs have done what they say that they do, live life feet first, and it's allowed me to get out of chronic patterning. I've needed good shoes that don't alter my body, and yeah, for the vast majority of these past 2 years, getting out of this chronic patterning in my body as the founder of In The Image Clothing Company, Zero Shoes branded shoes is what I've been wearing just about every day. Yeah, the vast majority of the time at least. So yeah, there you go. Okay, because within these 2 years, there is more context I'll give here, because yeah, that's the point of this video, is the documentation. I started leaving my fingernails at a long enough length that they can actually back and support my fingers, because that's why they're there. Same with my toenails. Okay, we cut toenails and fingernails relatively flat on the tips to stay in the neutral position of the wrist. It would be this way. Okay, and the gripped arch in the foot, traveling up the ankle, then through the entire body. We need backing and support to our fingernails and toenails all the way to the very tips of the fingers and toes. And I started doing that within this 2-year period from today's date back, the 5th of February, 2026. I started eating and drinking with my non-dominant hand. Okay, eating and drinking with the left hand is a video under the main site of In The Image Clothing Company, because we live in a world with 85%, give or take, of human beings being right-handed, and this is where our patterning comes from. Clothing placed on us imbalanced, but clothing patterns themselves are right-handed to the degree that they are, and so are one-handed products that are designed to be used with just one hand. We get into a right-handed patterning as human beings, and we discuss this deeply. So these are the things that I started doing: tying my shoes evenly, eating with my non-dominant hand, allowing my fingernails and toenails to just grow long enough to back and support my fingers and toes, wearing clothing that just sits at the joints of my body part with, well, yeah, whatever body part it is. Shoulders, hips, ankles, wrists, elbows. Yeah, that hip hinge is huge. Pants in all the ways when it comes to shorts, being at the proper length up off the knees, pant cuffs off the feet, sleeve cuffs off the wrists, short sleeves off the elbows, tops waisted, pants at the natural waist, shoes with no heels on them, In The Image Clothing Company shoelace technique on the top of the shoe, These are the things that I started doing and have been doing throughout this past 2-year period that have allowed my body to get out of chronic patterning. I've also really broken up bone spurs in my body. In this right-handed world, there's parts of our bodies that definitely get bone spurs, where the muscles connecting to the bones through tendons are not allowed to track and pull in line, and they just pull on bones, and the bone excessively grows, and then our bodies are damaged. We have to actually break up bone mass. That's what I mean by reshaping bones. You can, back to the only neutral, natural, or normal position they work in, okay, tracking in line. There's only one way the human body could ever possibly work. It's just residing in its neutrals, okay? So it is what it is. We give the context, and we give it very, very, very thoroughly and deeply. There's just no opinion possible to truth. We don't get to decide it. So, time, okay? Time is the big one. We have to be content with it being able to take time. A lot of times people will try to go work out for a month or 3 months and try to have their body transform. Yeah, any benefit you try to gain to your body will always leave when you stop doing whatever it is you're doing. But getting the body out of patterning to allow it to just reside in its only working positions and just in its neutrals, it can only happen as quick as it can, okay? In my case, it was 2 full years, and so that's the point with the context of this video. Just, it has to take time. It just does. We've got to remember, we're on God's timing, not ours. We're governed by time as human beings. God is outside of space and time. So we have to be able to be patient. We have to be able to do what it takes. And it's a lot. If it's a lot in your own specific situation, depending on the degree of patterning you're in. Yeah. And for context, in this video, I've said it where I have, documented and date marked under In the Image Clothing Company content, under the gift of video, but my body was in deeper patterning than a lot of people get into in their entire lives by the time I was 24 years old. I mean, I was in very, 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 very bad patterning. You know, without labeling things as bad, it was bad as far as not anywhere near how the body works. I was stuck in external rotation, and really it was because of a right-handed twist in my body. A lot of it was right-handed knots on my body. Shoelaces and drawstrings is the big point with that. But just living in this world, you know, taking away the rounding to our hands with things that are so flat, designed to be used with our bodies that are round. The feet and the hands are both round. There's no opinion to it. You know, different length toes, different length fingers wrapping evenly around our thumb. There's a rounding to the open palm. Okay, the open palm and internal rotation is a video here under the main side of In the Image Clothing Company. Oh, hi, Dante. Where'd you come from? Good boy. Good dog. I forgot he was here, in a good way, just because he's such an obedient dog. I've got a slip lead here just in case, you know, advocating for being good owners of dogs under In the Image Clothing Company poodles. You're a good boy. You go here? You're a good boy. Yeah. I kind of forget he's there because he's just so obedient. He'll just be next to me, you know, so that's great. But yeah, we just alter our bodies, okay? If we do, in all the ways we discuss under In the Image Clothing Company, that the body's being altered, like I'm saying, it's not just clothing, it's our modern man-made world as well. Clothing's the only thing physically placed on us, though, and so things we're doing that could alter our bodies already are amplified if we're within clothing that's just not allowing our bodies to just work to begin with. And, you know, like rotated seams, pant zippers, buttons, pockets, side seams of clothing not being at the sides of our bodies, shoelaces, tongue tabs and shoes. heels on shoes, insoles in shoes, tags in clothing, stretch in clothing, okay? But then just putting things in pockets. We could just get into all the things we get into, but I just want to say some things like that, like I just did, is what I mean, for context in this video, so that there's context in this video, okay? We do so much, though, under the gift of video. It's taken 2 years. And it hasn't been a casual thing. It's been daily, daily, daily. Here's some good context as well, though, with this video's topic and title. There's episodes of In the Image Clothing Company podcast, for example, where I have just been crying and crying so hard, just bawling my eyes out, if you will, out of pain. Where I filmed episodes of In the Image Clothing Company podcast in moments when I was going through immense physical pain, getting out of patterning, because this is what I'm saying is I don't have a sales pitch. I don't have an opinion here about this. This is truth. There's only one way the human body could ever work. And also, like I'm saying, it is not a walk in the park. It is not an easy thing to do to get out of patterning in the body. When we're talking about bones literally being reshapen, meaning they have become misshapen and we reshape them back to how they should be, okay? The universal human design is what I mean by should be. There is a should with the human body. Your body can be different, but we still stabilize to breathe. And we still just are on Earth's center of gravity. There's still a center to the spine of the body between the rib cage on either side, with the spinal cord going through it that feeds the entire body with electrical signals for our nervous system, for the body to be able to function at all. There is a should with the human body. There truly is. Or else physical pain will be the cause of it not working properly. It's not a prestigious thing like trying to have good posture. There's no such thing as posture. But you're either standing vertical on Earth's vertical gravity pull, or your body's in a lot of pain because Earth's vertical gravity pull doesn't change, but if your body does through patterning, that hurts. Okay? Bones are only the shape that they are. They just need to be vertically stacked to stand on Earth. Yeah. With just a slight bend and everything to allow stabilization from opposing sides of functions. There's just only one way the body works. So 2 years, is it a long time or is it a relatively short time compared to the rest of my entire life, right? If I'm asking for what people think, just to kind of see, like, what does that seem like? Does that seem like a lot of work, a long time, too much to do, taking 2 full years to get out of patterning, or do you just continue to live in patterning for the rest of your life? Well, if you do get out of patterning and get your body centered, which has to happen on Earth's center of gravity to rid pain in your body, otherwise you will never possibly rid pain in your body. If you can't do, well, yeah, all you can at least in your own individual situation to get centered physically on Earth's center of gravity, to get out of pain and patterning, yeah, if you don't do all you can, you just will be in pain. Physical pain in the body is just the body's telling you something is wrong. Can we address this? You know, and if you don't, then you'll continue to have pain. It's just like a warning signal to you from your body, your body's nervous system. That's what that is, okay? That's all pain is, physical pain in the body. Yeah, that's why it happens. Is to let you know something's wrong. We can't always rid every pain we could ever have. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying you have to do what it takes if you want the result. And it's not been easy. It's been very, 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 very hard. However many varies I would need to say to explain it. It's been extremely hard. These past 2 years, for me personally, Evan Strong, the founder of In the Image Clothing Company, to get my body out of patterning. Chronic physical patterning. That's a lot of work in your physical body, which is you, as a human being, you know? I mean, you're addressing yourself directly, physically, and it's a lot, okay? So, yeah, it just takes time, okay? I never am trying to claim that when it comes to allowing the body to work, the slogan under the main side of In The Image Clothing Company, yeah, it's never a claim on my end, Evan Strong, the founder of In The Image Clothing Company, that you can just allow your body to work by just putting clothing on that fits you proper and your body will just start working great. No. But you have to have your clothing fit you proper or you'll never get your body to work well. No matter what you ever try to do, you just got something physically placed on you that's not allowing your body to work correct, if that's the case. And that's just as simple as it is. That's as simple as it is. Yeah, that's it. That's all we do, really, under the main side of In The Image Clothing Company, is just not alter the body. Okay? But you've got to first unalter it if it has been altered. Okay? So, it just takes time. Just to be clear, because I know how I sound. I really do, by the way, just so you know. I know how prideful I sound, and sometimes I'm just flat out prideful. I know it sounds like I'm mocking people and making fun of people, and sometimes I truly am, okay? Why aren't you on your towel? I said it like that to kind of mock Dante, well, to prove a point with, yeah, sometimes I just mock people or make fun of people or call people out for stuff. Yeah, I'm not perfect. And even then, sometimes that's not a wrong thing to do. Anyway, the point is we're trying to keep Dante clean for the sake of the house that I live in right now. So I bring a towel out for him to lay on. But what I'm saying is, it's not like I just have my body always functioning properly since birth. You know, I've had 2 full open heart surgeries, plus 4 other heart surgeries. I've had, like I'm saying, a lifetime until I was 24 years old of chronic, you could say bad posture, okay? I was doing just about all the same things we discussed not doing under In The Image Clothing Company, and I'm the founder of In The Image Clothing Company. So just to be very clear, as prideful as I could sound, and as much as it sounds like I'm better than someone else, no, not in the way you're hearing it, right? Meaning, that's not what I mean. If you're hearing it as maybe my body just has always worked so great and I'm just like making fun of others who don't have well-working bodies, that's the point of this video. It's taken me 2 years of going through a lot of physical pain and a lot of effort to get to where I am today, the 5th of February 2026, and then going forth, I will be reaping the harvest of the work that I put in to get to where I am. My body will just continue to work now, but you've got to go through the thick of it, if you will. You've got to go through the heat of the fire to be refined on the other side. You've got to really do a lot to get out of chronic patterning. It's a big deal. The body is amazing. The body of the human being, and it can heal itself. Really, it's God doing it for us. And all the body is just what we've eaten. It's not really doing anything by itself. Not really. How could it? You know, it's just food that becomes this flesh. How does that even happen? The glory always goes to God, and there's no choice because it's only happening the way it is, and we're not doing it. Just the body functioning at all, okay? So, anyway, it just takes time, okay? Just to be very clear, now we've documented it. Like I say, I say things one time and I never have to say it again. This explanation, everything I've said in this video, I never would have to say again if I can just direct people to go watch this video. That's why it's such a gift of video. It's awesome. Yeah, it's so cool. You know, I don't like to repeat myself, right? I am prideful. I just am. Is why I laugh, because yeah, I'm not gonna try to deny that. I'm a human being. We're all prideful where we are, and I'm probably quite a bit more prideful than most. It's just who I am, okay? Meaning, yeah, you just got to see what's really going on. And what I'm saying though is I don't want to have to repeat myself if I don't have to. And so, me making a video like this, now here's the explanation. For when people think I'm more prideful than I really am, as if I've just always had this perfectly working body, no, I've had to go through 2 years of a lot of work to get here. You know, like every day kind of work. So, yeah, more context. I haven't had a job in these past 2 years. I haven't had anywhere that I've had to go specifically, you know, like scheduled each day, you know, like a regular schedule of something. So I've had so much of this time where I've walked tens and tens of miles each day, and I've slept in shoes, laced and tied correct, just the only way the feet are shaped. It's not my opinion, but we title it In the Image Clothing Company's shoelace technique, just so you can find it under our information that we give under In the Image Clothing Company, our 5-word company name. But sleeping in shoes, then your feet can't be, you know, rotated, and your ankles can't be rotated from socks maybe rotating throughout the whole night. You know, if your shoes are just going to be in a nice position, just nicely wrapped around your feet, the only way your feet are shaped, then through your night of sleeping, your body will be unaltered as well. I'm just giving context. I have done a lot in these past 2 years. What I mean by I haven't had a job or I haven't had any kind of schedule that I've had to keep is it's been my whole day, every day, for 2 full years working on my body. It's not some kind of thing you can just casually do. That's the point of this video, and that's what I mean by I can sound as prideful as whatever. I've put in the work though. It's been so hard, and I couldn't claim it. You can see it. You can see that my body works, and you can see, if you have access to any visual documentation before these past 2 years from today's date back, okay, the 5th of February 2026, if you can see how my body was working, the patterning it was in, you just can't dispute it. I don't have a claim that I could possibly even make. That's what I mean. That's the point. Okay. So we've just got a lot of free modifications in clothing. I'm not asking you to pay for anything for us to change your life. It's not my information I'd be giving to change your life if it's truth. Okay. So yeah, we'll always have good clothing you could purchase, good dog products you could purchase, whatever else we get into product-wise under In the Image Clothing Company. And we just do so much for the environment here in the state of Utah. We live up Utah. So much in nature, you know. In-person events like poodle parade events. Bring your poodles, purebred of any size or mixed poodles of any size. Unless it's very specifically worded that you would be coming to our events for us, don't come to In the Image Clothing Company's events for In the Image Clothing Company's team. Come for the reason we're having the events, because it'll be awesome. You know, getting people into nature and dogs into nature, things for the environment like specific subcategories of poodle parade events, clean the creek or rid the rubbish. You know, we'll actually pick up garbage and trash and litter, advocate for good things like being good owners of dogs and how to, keeping less dogs in shelters and more dogs at homes, and just advocating for being a good human being and advocating for being a disciple of Jesus Christ. What it means, you know, giving context on things. Just context, context, context. I love that word. You can say anything you want ever, but can you explain it? Do you actually know what you're talking about, or do you have some claim that you want me to believe in? I don't believe in anything. Okay. Is what I could say to anyone, because that's the truth. I don't believe in anything because there's truth only, okay? That's the point, is we just explain things thoroughly. Don't believe us. You don't have to if it's true. It's just true regardless of who says it or if no one says it. Anything ever in life. it doesn't change, it doesn't change. So there you go. Okay, 2 years. It has been 2 years. Okay, it's taken me 2 years. This video under the main site of In the Image Clothing Company. Yeah, I mean, I can say it and I can show it. My body's basically completely out of patterning at this point. It just is. I just couldn't claim it, and that's why I love the gift of video. So, 2 years. Okay, as of today's date, the 5th of February, 2026, it's been every day. Working on my body very, very intently for most of the day. I'm not even joking. And I mean, there's just so much context. Okay, it's been documented under the gift of video, date marked, under In the Image Clothing Company. The point is, I'm the founder. Me, Evan Strong. I am in this for life. And who are you getting your information from? Well, someone who's documented the journey that you can watch, somebody whose body actually works, somebody who is making something that could sound like a claim that the only end is to allow the body to work, okay? Allowing the body to work under In the Image Clothing Company. But it couldn't be a claim because you can see it happening. We explain it so thoroughly, there's no possible dispute. It's not our decisions, it's the design of Jesus Christ, who were all designed in the image of. So there's your clothing company, our 5-word company name, In the Image Clothing Company, okay? So thank you. We've got another 4th of In the Image Clothing Company, In the Image Clothing Company music. We show the sizing and setup of guitar to not alter the body, things like the neutral wrist and the rounding in the hands. There is a rounding in the hands, okay? And always has been since every human to ever live, okay, in the universal human design. Rhythm and poetry, lyricism, music with singing, guitar playing, spoken word, whatever we do, those are some of the things we do, okay? Geared around the gospel of Jesus Christ with the messages In the Image Clothing Company music. Yeah, there's your documentation. Thank you. Shout out to Dante. He's awesome. Dante's the rescue. Okay.